Welcome, gentle traveler, to the quietest corner of the night. Perhaps you are lying in bed, the world hushed around you, or maybe you are simply pausing, letting your thoughts drift like leaves on a slow, invisible current. Tonight, we will journey together, not with rockets or telescopes, but with wonder, toward the very edge of everything we know, the edge of the universe. The place where questions outnumber answers, where the familiar dissolves into the unknown. Imagine for a moment the comfort of your room fading away. The walls dissolve, the ceiling lifts, and above you stretches the vast ancient sky. Stars blink softly, scattered across a canvas so deep it seems endless. But is it? Does the universe go on forever, or is there a boundary, a place where everything stops? What happens at the edge of the universe? This is not a journey of engines and fuel, but of curiosity. Tonight we'll float on questions, letting them carry us outward, past the familiar constellations, beyond the reach of our sun, past the swirling arms of our galaxy, and into the deep, dark unknown. We'll ask questions that have haunted humanity for centuries. We'll listen for answers in the silence between the stars. So, as you settle in, know that this space is for you, a place where science and imagination meet, where your mind can rest even as it wanders. Take a slow breath. Let the night wrap around you. The universe is waiting, and together, we'll drift to its very edge. But before we go, let's pause and look up. The journey begins not with a leap, but with a gaze, a simple act of wonder. What do you see when you look at the night sky? And what secrets does it hold about the edge of everything? The night sky is a map of mysteries. Each star, a distant sun. Each patch of darkness, a question waiting to be asked. For thousands of years, people have looked up and wondered, how far does it go? Is there a wall, a fence, a final curtain? Or does the universe stretch on forever, without end? In ancient times, the edge of the universe was imagined as a physical place. Some thought the sky was a dome, painted with stars, resting on the pillars of the earth. Others pictured a great ocean beyond the horizon, or a realm of gods and spirits. The edge was a place of endings and beginnings. But as our understanding grew, so did the universe itself. Telescopes revealed more stars, more galaxies, more space than anyone had dreamed. The edge receded, always just out of reach. Today, we know the universe is vast beyond imagining, but is it infinite? Or is there still an edge, hidden somewhere in the darkness? The truth is both simple and strange. The universe does have a kind of edge, but not the way you might expect. There is no wall, no barrier, no sign that says, here the universe ends. Instead, the edge is woven into the fabric of space and time itself. It's a boundary not of matter, but of possibility, a place where light cannot reach us, where the story of the cosmos slips beyond our grasp. As you lie here, let your thoughts drift outward. Picture the stars as stepping stones, leading you farther and farther from home, each one a marker on the road to the edge. But what is that edge, really? And how do we know it's there? Let's follow the light and see where it leads. Imagine the universe as a vast ocean, and you are floating at its center. Around you in every direction stretches a sphere of light, a bubble that marks the limit of what you can see. This is the observable universe, and it is our window into the cosmos. But why is there a limit at all? The answer lies in the speed of light. Light travels fast, about 300,000 kilometers per second, but it is not instant. When you look at the stars, you are seeing them as they were in the past. The farther away a star is, the older its light. Some of the stars you see tonight may have died long ago, their final glow only now reaching your eyes. The observable universe is defined by the age of the cosmos itself. Our universe is about 13.8 billion years old. That means the farthest light we can see has been traveling for nearly 14 billion years. Beyond that, there are places whose light has not yet reached us and may never do so. This bubble is not fixed. As time passes, more light arrives, and the edge of our observable universe expands. But there are limits. Some regions are moving away from us so quickly, carried by the expansion of space itself, that their light will never reach us, no matter how long we wait. So the edge of the observable universe is not a wall, but a horizon, a place where our vision fades, not because there is nothing beyond, but because the universe is too vast, too swift, too strange for light to bridge the gap. As you rest, imagine yourself at the center of this cosmic bubble. All around you, the universe stretches outward, filled with galaxies, stars, and mysteries. But what lies beyond the edge? Is there more to the universe than we can see? Let's follow a single beam of light and see how far it can travel. The night sky is the oldest storybook, its pages turned by every generation that has ever looked up in wonder. Before there were telescopes, before there were maps or even words for the stars, there was the simple act of gazing upward, letting the eyes adjust to the darkness and feeling the world grow larger with every blink. The sky above is not just a ceiling, it is a horizon, a boundary between the known and the unknown, the safe and the mysterious. It is the first edge we ever meet. Imagine yourself lying on cool grass, the earth solid beneath you, the air tinged with the scent of night. Above, the sky stretches on and on, a deep velvet scattered with pinpricks of light. Some stars are bright and bold, others faint and shy, but all of them are ancient. Their light has traveled years, centuries, even millennia to reach you. Each star is a messenger from the past, a silent witness to the birth and death of worlds. For our ancestors, the night sky was a map and a mystery. They traced patterns in the stars, drawing lines between them to create stories. Hunters and bears, queens and dragons, heroes and monsters. These constellations became guides for travelers, calendars for farmers, and comfort for dreamers. The sky was a clock, a compass, a canvas for the imagination. But it was also a horizon, a place where the world seemed to end and something else, something vast and unknowable, began. In every culture, the edge of the sky was a place of wonder and fear. Some believed the stars were holes in a great dome, letting the light of heaven shine through. Others imagined the sky as a river, its currents carrying the souls of the departed to distant shores. There were stories of gods who lived beyond the stars, of monsters who lurked at the edge, of heroes who dared to journey past the horizon and never returned. The night sky was both a promise and a warning. There is more than you can see, more than you can know. As science grew, so did our sense of the horizon. The invention of the telescope revealed that the sky was not a dome, but a vast expanse filled with countless stars, each a sun in its own right. The Milky Way, once thought to be a river of milk spilled across the heavens, was revealed to be a galaxy, a swirling city of stars, billions strong. And beyond our galaxy, more galaxies, each one a universe of its own, scattered across the darkness like islands in a cosmic sea. But even as our vision expanded, the sense of horizon remained. No matter how far we see, there is always a limit, a place where the light grows faint, where the stars blur into mist, where the questions outnumber the answers. The night sky is a reminder that every discovery brings a new edge, a new boundary to explore. Tonight, as you look up, let your eyes wander from star to star. Notice how some twinkle and others shine steady. Notice the way the sky seems to curve, wrapping around you like a gentle embrace. This is your first horizon, the edge of your world. Beyond it lies the unknown, the uncharted, the infinite. But the horizon is not just out there, in the sky. It is also within you, in the questions you ask, in the dreams you dare to dream. Every time you wonder what lies beyond the stars, you are reaching for the edge, stretching your mind to meet the universe. The night sky is both a mirror and a window, a reflection of your own curiosity, and a portal to something greater. As you breathe in the quiet of the night, remember that you are not alone. All over the world, people are looking up at the same sky, tracing the same constellations, asking the same questions. The horizon connects us, across time and space, across cultures and generations. It is the place where our stories begin and where they are always unfolding. The night sky is patient. It waits for you to notice, to wonder, to ask. It does not rush. It does not demand. It simply is. A gentle invitation to explore, to imagine, to rest in the presence of something vast and beautiful. And so, as you lie here, let the horizon draw you in. Let it remind you that the universe is not a closed room, but an open field. That every edge is a beginning, not an end. That the night sky is not just a backdrop for your life, but a companion on your journey. What will you find if you follow the horizon? What stories will you tell? What mysteries will you uncover? The night sky is waiting, and the edge is always just a little farther than you can see. Let your thoughts drift outward, past the familiar stars, past the constellations you know by heart, toward the faintest glimmers at the edge of sight. There in the darkness, the universe is calling. There at the horizon, your journey truly begins. And as you rest, know that the night sky will keep watch, holding your questions, your dreams, your gentle wonder, until you are ready to travel farther toward the next edge, the next horizon, the next great unknown. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine yourself floating in the center of a vast, silent ocean. There is no wind, no waves, only the gentle hush of infinity stretching in every direction. This is the feeling of the observable universe, a cosmic bubble, a sphere of light and memory, with you at its heart. It is not arrogance to place yourself at the center. It is simply the way the universe works for every observer, everywhere. Each of us, wherever we are, is surrounded by a horizon, a limit to how far we can see, a personal edge to the cosmos. But why is there an edge at all? Why? Can't we see forever? The answer lies in the nature of light and the story of time. Light, the universe's swiftest messenger, travels at a speed so great it is almost beyond comprehension, about 300,000 kilometers every second. Yet even this speed is not infinite. When you look at the stars, you are not seeing them as they are, but as they were. The farther away a star or galaxy, the older the image you receive. Some of the starlight that touches your eyes tonight began its journey before you were born, before your grandparents were born, before humans even walked the earth. The observable universe is defined by the age of the cosmos itself. Our universe is about 13.8 billion years old. That means the farthest light we can see has been traveling for nearly 14 billion years. But the story is even stranger. Because the universe has been expanding all this time, the most distant objects we can see now are actually much farther away than 14 billion light years. In fact, the edge of our observable universe is about 46 billion light years from us in every direction. This is not a trick of the eye, but a consequence of space itself stretching, carrying galaxies away on a tide that never stops. Imagine the observable universe as a glowing sphere centered on you with a radius of 46 billion light years. Everything inside this bubble is part of your cosmic story. Every galaxy, every star, every wisp of gas that has ever sent its light in your direction is included. Beyond this edge, there may be more, much more, but their light has not had time to reach you. They are hidden, not by distance alone, but by the limits of time and the relentless expansion of space. This bubble is not fixed. As time passes, more light arrives and the edge of our observable universe expands. But there are limits. Some regions are moving away from us so quickly, carried by the expansion of space itself, that their light will never reach us no matter how long we wait. These places are lost to us, their stories forever untold, their light forever unseen. It is a humbling thought. The universe is not only vast, but also veiled. There are places we will never know, not because we lack the technology, but because the laws of nature themselves have drawn a curtain. The observable universe is our stage, our arena of discovery, our cosmic home. But it is not the whole story. As you rest, imagine yourself at the center of this cosmic bubble. All around you, the universe stretches outward, filled with galaxies, stars, and mysteries. Each point of light is a message from the past, a memory of a time when the universe was younger, denser, hotter. The farther you look, the farther back in time you see, until at the very edge, you glimpse the faint afterglow of creation itself, the cosmic microwave background, the oldest light in the universe. But even within this bubble, there are wonders beyond counting. The observable universe contains at least 2 trillion galaxies, each with hundreds of billions of stars. It is a number so large it defies imagination, a sea of worlds and possibilities, a reminder that the universe is both generous and mysterious. And, yet for all its immensity, the observable universe is also intimate. It is the story of your own journey through space and time, the record of every photon that has ever touched your eyes, every star that has ever sparked your wonder. It is a personal horizon, shaped by your place in the cosmos, your moment in history, your unique perspective. The edge of the observable universe is not a wall, but a horizon, a place where our vision fades, not because there is nothing beyond, but because the universe is too vast, too swift, too strange for light to bridge the gap. It is a gentle boundary, a soft blur where knowledge gives way to imagination, where certainty dissolves into possibility. As you lie here, let your thoughts drift outward, past the familiar stars, past the bright swirl of the Milky Way, past the distant galaxies that shine like tiny lanterns in the dark. Let your mind travel to the very edge of sight, to the place where the universe becomes a question, a hope, a dream. What lies beyond the observable universe? Is there more to the cosmos than we can see? Are there other worlds, other stories, other edges waiting to be discovered? The answers are hidden, for now, beyond the reach of light, beyond the reach of time.
There is a law written into the fabric of the universe, a rule so absolute that nothing, no star, no planet, no thought or dream, can break it. It is the speed of light, the ultimate limit, the cosmic speedometer that governs every journey,
every story, every edge. Light moves at 299,192,458 meters per second, a number so large it is almost meaningless in the scale of daily life, yet so small when measured against the vastness of the cosmos. It is the fastest thing there is, and yet, in a universe so immense, even light must be patient. Imagine a single photon, born in the heart of a distant star. It begins its journey with a burst of energy, weaving through the dense plasma, dodging atoms, bouncing off particles, until at last it escapes into the open sea of space. From there, it travels in a straight line, unbending, unwavering, for years, centuries, even billions of years. It does not tire, it does not slow. It simply moves, carrying with it the memory of its origin, the story of its star. But even light, for all its speed, cannot cross the universe in an instant. When you look at the stars, you are looking into the past. The light from the sun takes just over 8 minutes to reach Earth. The light from the nearest star, Proxima Centauri, takes more than 4 years. The glow of the Andromeda Galaxy, our nearest galactic neighbor, is a message sent more than 2 million years ago. And the faintest galaxies at the edge of the observable universe. Their light began its journey more than 13 billion years ago, long before our planet was born. The speed of light is not just a number, it is a boundary, a horizon, a gentle but unbreakable rule. It shapes the way we see the universe, the way we understand time, the way we imagine the future. It is the reason there is an observable universe at all, the reason there is an edge to our vision, a limit to our knowledge. Beyond that edge, there may be more, much more, but their light has not had time to reach us. They are hidden, not by distance alone, but by the relentless march of time and the patient pace of light. But why is there a speed limit at all? Why can't anything go faster? The answer lies in the nature of space and time themselves. According to Einstein's theory of relativity, as you move faster and faster, time slows down for you and space contracts in the direction of your travel. The closer you get to the speed of light, the more extreme these effects become. To reach the speed of light, you would need infinite energy, and time would stand still. For light itself, time does not pass at all. A photon, from its own perspective, is born and arrives at its destination in the same instant. no matter how far it travels. This is one of the universe's deepest mysteries. Light is both a messenger and a boundary, a bridge and a wall. It connects us to the past, but it also keeps the future at bay. It allows us to see the stars, but it also hides the farthest reaches of the cosmos. The speed of light is the thread that weaves together space and time, the gentle hand that shapes every horizon. As you lie here, think of all the light that has traveled to meet you. Each photon is a story, a memory, a whisper from the past. The universe is full of these messages, crossing the darkness, carrying news of distant worlds, ancient explosions, the birth and death of stars. Some of this light has traveled for so long that the world it left behind no longer exists. Some of it began its journey before there were eyes to see, before there were minds to wonder. And yet, for all its speed, light is also fragile. As it travels, it is stretched by the expansion of the universe, its color shifting toward the red, its energy fading. The farther it goes, the fainter it becomes, until at last, it slips beyond the reach of our instruments, lost in the background hum of creation. The speed of light is not just a limit. It is a filter, a gentle sieve that lets only the closest, the brightest, the most patient stories reach us. But the speed of light is also a promise. It means that the universe is not static, not frozen, but alive with motion and change. It means that every night when you look up at the stars, you are seeing a living history, a tapestry woven from the threads of time and light. It means that the edge of the universe is not a wall, but a moving horizon, always receding, always inviting you to wonder what lies beyond. As you rest, let your thoughts drift at the speed of light. Imagine yourself riding a photon, slipping through the darkness, crossing the gulf between galaxies, carrying with you the memory of a star, the hope of a new dawn. The universe is vast, but light is patient. The edge is far, but every journey begins with a single step, a single beam, a single question. What stories will the next photon bring? What secrets will the next horizon reveal? The speed of light is nature's ultimate limit, but it is also the beginning of every adventure, the first note in the symphony of the cosmos. And so, as you lie here, let the gentle law of light guide you onward toward the next edge, the next question, the next wonder waiting in the darkness. Imagine the universe as a great silent balloon, stretching outward in every direction, its surface growing larger with every passing moment. Now imagine that you are not standing outside this balloon, but living on its surface, unable to see the whole, only the gentle curve beneath your feet. This is the expanding universe, a mystery that has changed everything we know about them. Cosmos, and a story that is still unfolding. For centuries, people believed the universe was eternal and unchanging, a fixed stage upon which the drama of stars and planets played out. The night sky seemed constant, the constellations unshifting, the heavens a perfect dome. But in the early 20th century, a quiet revolution began. Astronomers, peering through their telescopes, noticed something strange. The light from distant galaxies was stretched, shifted toward the red end of the spectrum. This red shift was a clue, a cosmic fingerprint, a sign that those galaxies were moving away from us. It was Edwin Hubble who first pieced together the puzzle. The farther away a galaxy was, the faster it seemed to recede. The universe, turned out, was not static at all. It was expanding, growing, stretching like dough rising in the oven, like ripples spreading across a pond. Every galaxy, every star, every atom was caught in this grand, silent motion. But what does it mean for the universe to expand? It is not that galaxies are flying through space, racing away from some central point. Rather, it is space itself that is stretching, carrying galaxies along like raisins in a rising loaf of bread. There is no center, no edge, only the endless unfolding of space and time. Every observer, wherever they are, sees the same expansion, the same gentle drift of galaxies into the distance. This expansion is not just a curiosity. It is the reason there is an edge to the observable universe, the reason there are places we can never see, no matter how powerful our telescopes become. As space stretches, the light from distant galaxies is pulled along, its waves lengthened, its energy faded. Some galaxies are moving away from us so quickly that their light will never reach us, forever lost beyond the cosmic horizon. The expanding universe is a growing mystery, a question that leads to more questions. What is driving the expansion? What is the fate of the cosmos? Will the universe expand forever, growing colder and emptier with each passing eon? Or will it slow, stop, and collapse, returning to the fire from which it was born? The answers are written in the stars, in the redshift of galaxies, in the faint glow of the cosmic microwave background. But the expansion is not just a story of distance and speed. It is a story of time. The farther we look, the farther back in time we see. The light from the most distant galaxies began its journey when the universe was young, when stars were just beginning to form, when the first atoms were finding their place in the cosmic dance. The edge of the observable universe is not just a place, it is a moment, a memory, a window into the past. As you lie here, let your thoughts drift outward, carried by the gentle tide of expansion. Imagine the galaxies as lanterns, their light flickering across the darkness, their stories woven into the fabric of space and time. Imagine the universe as a living thing, growing, changing, breathing with every heartbeat of creation. The expanding universe is a reminder that nothing is fixed, nothing is final. The cosmos is a work in progress, a painting still being made, a song still being sung. Every moment, every breath, every heartbeat is part of this grand unfolding, this endless journey toward the unknown. But the expansion is also a mystery, a question that lingers at the edge of every answer. What lies beyond the horizon? Is there an end to the expansion, a boundary where space and time themselves unravel? Or does the universe stretch on forever, infinite and eternal, a sea without a shore? The truth is, we do not know. The universe keeps its secrets well, hiding them in the redshift of galaxies, in the silence between the stars, in the darkness beyond the edge of sight. But the mystery is not a cause for fear. It is an invitation, a gentle call to wonder, to explore, to dream. As you rest, let the expanding universe cradle you. Feel the gentle pull of space stretching, the soft hum of galaxies drifting, the quiet promise of more to come. The edge is always moving, always receding, always inviting you to follow, to ask, to imagine. The growing mystery of the universe is not a puzzle to be solved, but a story to be lived. It is the reason we look up at the night sky, the reason we ask what lies beyond, the reason we dream of edges and horizons. There is a place in the universe where vision blurs, where certainty dissolves into possibility, and where the known world quietly hands you over to the unknown. This place is not marked by a wall or a sign, but by a horizon, a gentle, invisible boundary where sight fades and questions begin. In the language of the cosmos, this is the cosmic horizon, the ultimate edge of what we can ever see or know. Imagine standing on a quiet beach at dawn, watching the ocean stretch to the horizon. No matter how far you walk, the horizon always stays ahead, always just out of reach. The universe has a horizon too, a cosmic boundary, not of water and sky, but of space and time. It is the farthest distance from which light, emitted now, will ever reach us in the future. It's not a wall, not a barrier you could touch, but a limit set by the universe's expansion. Beyond this horizon, galaxies drift away so quickly that their light, even if it started its journey today, would never arrive. This is the cosmological event horizon, a concept as beautiful as it is humbling. It is a moving target, shaped by the speed of light and the rate of expansion. It is the ultimate boundary of our knowledge, a line drawn not in space, but in possibility. There are places in the universe that are forever hidden from us, not because they are too far, but because the universe itself is growing too fast. The horizon is a moving target, shaped by the speed of light and the rate of expansion. It is the ultimate boundary of our knowledge, a line drawn not in space, but in possibility. As you lie here, let your mind drift to that horizon. Picture. It is a gentle curve wrapping around the universe, holding within it all that we can ever see, ever know. Beyond it, the universe continues, silent and mysterious, its secrets safe from our gaze. But what does it mean to have a horizon in the universe? It means that there are regions of space that are forever beyond our reach, not just now, but for all time. Even if we waited for billions or trillions of years, the light from those distant places would never arrive. The expansion of space is simply too fast, the gulf too wide, the rules of nature too strict. The cosmic horizon is not a failure of technology or imagination. It is a fundamental feature of reality itself. This horizon is not fixed. It moves as the universe evolves, as space stretches, as time flows. In the early universe, the horizon was much closer, the bubble of the observable universe much smaller. As the cosmos expanded, the horizon receded, revealing more and more of the universe's wonders. But there will always be a limit, a place where sight fades, where the story slips beyond our grasp. The cosmic horizon is a place of paradox. It is both the edge of our knowledge and the beginning of our curiosity. It is a boundary that invites us to wonder what lies beyond, to imagine worlds and stories that we can never see. It is a gentle reminder that the universe is larger than our understanding, that there are mysteries that will always remain just out of reach. But the horizon is not empty. It is filled with the faintest glimmers of light, the last whispers of distant galaxies, the soft glow of the cosmic microwave background. It is a place where the universe's oldest secrets are kept, where the past and the future meet in a dance of light and shadow. As you rest, imagine yourself standing at the edge of the cosmic horizon. The sky above is filled with stars, but at the very edge, the light grows thin, the galaxies grow faint, the darkness deepens. Beyond that, there is only silence, only possibility, only the gentle hum of the unknown. The cosmic horizon is not a place to fear, but a place to celebrate. It is the proof that the universe is alive, that it is growing, that it is filled with more than we can ever know. It is the invitation to dream, to ask, to reach beyond the limits of sight and into the realm of imagination. And so, as you lie here, let the horizon draw you in. Let it remind you that every edge is a beginning, not an end. That the universe is not a closed room, but an open field. That the night sky is not just a backdrop for your life, but a companion on your journey. What will you find if you follow the horizon? What stories will you tell? What mysteries will you uncover? The cosmic horizon is waiting, and the edge is always just a little farther than you can see. Let your thoughts drift outward, past the familiar stars, past the constellations you know by heart, toward the faintest glimmers at the edge of sight. There, in the darkness, the universe is calling. There, at the horizon, your journey truly begins. And as you rest, know that the cosmic horizon will keep watch, holding your questions, your dreams, your gentle wonder, until you are ready to travel farther toward the next edge, the next horizon, the next great unknown. At the very edge of our cosmic vision, where the universe's light grows thin and the darkness deepens, there are galaxies that flicker like distant lanterns, beacons at the brink, shining from the farthest shores of time and space. These are the most remote objects we can see, the ancient messengers whose light has traveled for billions of years to reach us. They are the universe's first storytellers, their glow a record of beginnings, of chaos, of creation. Imagine, for a moment, standing on a lonely hill at night, looking out across a vast, dark plain. Far in the distance you see a handful of tiny fires, their flames barely visible, their warmth a memory more than a promise. This is what it is like to peer into the deep universe. The galaxies at the brink are not bright and bold like the stars overhead. They are faint, fragile, their light stretched and softened by the long journey through expanding space. Some of these galaxies are so distant that their light began its journey when the universe was only a few 100 million years old, a mere infant compared to its current age. When we observe them, we are looking back in time, seeing them as they were when the first stars were kindling, when the cosmic fog was just beginning to lift. These galaxies are small, irregular, often chaotic in shape, their stars crowded together in a cosmic nursery. They are the seeds from which the grand spirals and giant ellipticals of today would one day grow. The farthest beacons are not just curiosities, they are clues. They tell us how the universe changed from darkness to light, from simplicity to complexity. Their light carries the fingerprints of the first elements, the echoes of the first supernovae, the whispers of the first black holes. By studying these ancient galaxies, astronomers can piece together the story of cosmic dawn, the era when the universe's first lights broke through the darkness, transforming the void into a tapestry of stars. But these galaxies are also reminders of the limits of our vision. The farther away a galaxy is, the fainter and redder its light becomes, stretched by the expansion of space, dimmed by the passage of time. Some are so distant that their light is barely more than a ghost, a faint smudge on the most sensitive detectors. Others are lost entirely, their stories hidden beyond the cosmic horizon, their glow forever out of reach. Yet, for all their remoteness, the galaxies at the brink are connected to us. Their light, though ancient, is real, a photon that began its journey before Earth existed, now ending its voyage in your eye, your mind, your wonder. In this way, the edge of the universe is not just a place, but a bridge, a link between the past and the present, between the first moments of creation and the quiet now of your listening. The search for the farthest galaxies is a quest that pushes the limits of technology and imagination. Telescopes like Hubble and James Webb are time machines, peering deeper and deeper into the universe's history, capturing the faintest glimmers from the brink. Each new discovery is a step farther, a new record, a new chapter in the story of the cosmos. And yet, with every step, the horizon recedes, the edge grows more mysterious, the questions multiply. What lies beyond the farthest beacons? Are there galaxies even more remote? Their light still on its way? Their stories still untold? Is there a final edge? A last galaxy? A place where the universe truly ends? Or does the cosmos stretch on forever? An endless sea of stars and possibilities. As you rest, let your thoughts drift to the brink. Imagine the galaxies at the edge, their light flickering across the darkness, their stories woven into the fabric of space and time. Imagine the universe as a vast, silent ocean, and these galaxies as the lighthouses that mark the farthest shores. Their glow is a promise, a reminder that the universe is larger, older, and more beautiful than we can ever see. But even their light is not immune to the universe's expansion. As it travels, it is stretched, faded, transformed, a process that holds the key to understanding the edge itself. The redshift of these distant galaxies is a cosmic signature, a record of the universe's growth, a clue to its fate. The galaxies at the brink are not just objects of study, they are invitations to wonder. They are the edge made visible, the unknown made real, the infinite made intimate. Their light is a gentle call to curiosity, a soft reminder that the universe is always waiting, always inviting, always just a little farther than you can reach. And so, as you lie here, let the farthest beacons guide you. Let their ancient light fill you with questions, with hope, with the quiet joy of not knowing. The edge is not a wall, but a window, a place where sight fades, but wonder grows. The next step in our journey is to follow the fading light itself, to see how the universe's expansion stretches and softens every story, and to ask what happens when even the brightest beacons become whispers in the dark. Imagine a song played on a distant shore, its melody carried across a vast, empty sea. As the sound travels, it softens, its notes stretched and slowed by the journey, until only the faintest echo reaches your ear. This is what happens to light as it travels across the universe. The farther it goes, the more it changes, its color shifting, its energy fading, its story rewritten by the very fabric of space and time. This gentle transformation is called redshift, and it is the universe's way of marking distance, of recording the passage of time, of whispering the secrets of the edge. Redshift is a simple idea with profound consequences. When a source of light moves away from you, its waves are stretched, just as the sound of a receding train drops in pitch. In the universe, it is not just the motion of galaxies that causes redshift, but the expansion of space itself. As the universe grows, it pulls the light along, stretching its waves, shifting its color from blue to red, from visible to invisible, from energy to memory. The galaxies at the brink, those farthest beacons, send us their light across billions of years. But by the time it arrives, it is not the same as when it began. The light has been stretched by the swelling of the cosmos. Its color shifted deep into the red, sometimes beyond what our eyes can see. What began as a brilliant blue-white blaze may reach us as a faint infrared whisper, a ghost of its former self. This stretching of light is not just a curiosity. It is a cosmic clock, a ruler for measuring the universe. By studying the redshift of distant galaxies, astronomers can tell how fast the universe is expanding, how old it is, how far its edges reach. Each redshifted photon is a message from the past, a record of the universe's growth, a clue to its fate. But redshift is also a gentle thief. As light is stretched, its energy fades. The farther it travels, the dimmer it becomes, until at last it slips beyond the reach of our instruments, lost in the background hum of creation. Some galaxies are so distant, their light so redshifted, that they are invisible to even our most sensitive telescopes. Their stories are out there, waiting, but the universe's expansion has hidden them from view, tucked them away beyond the cosmic horizon. This fading of light is the universe's way of drawing a boundary, not a wall, but a soft blur, a place where vision gives way to imagination. The edge is not sharp, but gentle, a transition from the known to the unknown, from the seen to the dreamed. It is a reminder that every discovery brings a new mystery, every answer a new question, every horizon a new edge. As you lie here, think of all the light that has traveled to meet you. Each photon is a story, a memory, a whisper from the past. Some began their journey before Earth was born, before the sun was kindled, before the Milky Way had found its shape. Their light has crossed the universe, dodging dust and darkness, stretched and softened by the expansion of space, until at last it finds you, here, now, listening in the quiet of the night. Redshift is not just a scientific tool. It is a poem, a song of distance and longing, a record of the universe's restless heart. It tells us that the cosmos is alive, that it is growing, that it is filled with more than we can ever see. It is the invitation to wonder, to ask, to reach beyond the limits of sight and into the realm of imagination. But redshift is also a promise. It means that the universe is not static, not frozen, but alive with motion and change. It means that every night, when you look up at the stars, you are seeing a living history, a tapestry woven from the threads of time and light. It means that the edge of the universe is not a wall, but a moving horizon, always receding, always inviting you to wonder what lies beyond. The fading of light is not an ending, but a beginning. It is the place where science and imagination meet, where knowledge gives way to curiosity, where the universe hands you the pen and asks you to write the next chapter. The edge is always moving, always changing, always waiting for you to follow. You rest, let your thoughts drift with the redshifted light. Imagine yourself riding a photon, slipping through the darkness, crossing the gulf between galaxies, carrying with you the memory of a star, the hope of a new dawn. The universe is vast, but light is patient. The edge is far, but every journey begins with a single step, a single beam, a single question. What stories will the next photon bring? What secrets will the next horizon reveal? The redshift and the fading of light are nature's gentle reminders that the universe is always growing, always changing, always inviting you to dream. And so, as you lie here, let the gentle law of light guide you onward, toward the next edge, the next question, the next wonder waiting in the darkness. Imagine for a moment the universe as a vast, silent cathedral, its walls stretching beyond sight, its ceiling lost in shadow. In this cathedral, there is a faint, ancient glow, a light so soft, so subtle, that it is almost a memory. This is the cosmic microwave background, the oldest light in the universe, a gentle afterglow from the dawn of time itself. Long before there were stars, before galaxies spun and planets formed, the universe was a hot, dense sea of energy. In those first moments, light could not travel far, trapped by a fog of particles, scattered and absorbed, unable to escape. The cosmos was a glowing soup, thick with possibility, but blind to its own beauty. But as the universe expanded and cooled, something miraculous happened. About 380,000 years after the Big Bang, the fog lifted. Atoms formed, and light was set free, racing outward in all directions. This ancient light is still with us, stretched and cooled by the expansion of the universe. We call it the cosmic microwave background. A faint glow that fills the sky, a snapshot of the universe as it was in its infancy. When we look at the cosmic microwave background, we are looking at the edge of the visible universe. The farthest, we can see the oldest light that has reached us. It is a boundary not of space, but of time. Beyond it, the universe is hidden, its earliest moments forever out of reach. This faint glow is a message from the edge, a reminder that the universe has a history, a beginning, a story written in light. It tells us that the edge is not a place, but a moment, a time when the universe became transparent, and the first light began its journey to us. The cosmic microwave background is everywhere. It fills the sky, not as a bright flash, but as a soft, uniform glow, visible only to sensitive instruments. It is the universe's oldest photograph, a baby picture taken when everything was new. In its subtle patterns, astronomers find clues to the universe's age, its shape, its fate. Tiny ripples in the background reveal the seeds of galaxies, the fingerprints of gravity, the echoes of creation. As you lie here, imagine that ancient light traveling for billions of years, finally arriving at your eyes. You are connected to the edge of the universe, to the very beginning of time, by the gentle glow of the cosmic microwave background. Every photon is a messenger, a survivor of the universe's first dawn, a witness to the birth of everything. The discovery of the cosmic microwave background was a turning point in our understanding of the cosmos. It confirmed the Big Bang, the idea that the universe had a beginning, a moment of creation. It showed that the universe is not eternal and unchanging, but dynamic, evolving, alive. The background is a gentle echo, a soft reminder that everything we see, everything we are, began in a single brilliant moment. But the cosmic microwave background is also a horizon, a limit to our vision. Beyond it, the universe is hidden, its earliest moments lost in the glare of creation. We can never see past this light, never glimpse the first instant, the true beginning. The edge is not a wall, but a veil, a soft curtain drawn across the stage of time. Yet, for all its distance, the background is intimate. It is the light that fills your room, the glow that warms your skin, the hum that sings in every atom. It is the universe's lullaby, a song of beginnings, a promise that you are part of something vast and beautiful. As you rest, let the oldest light wash over you. Imagine the universe as it was, hot, bright, full of promise. Imagine the first atoms forming, the first light escaping, the first stories being written in the language of photons. The cosmic microwave background is a bridge across time, a connection to the moment when everything began. The background is not just a relic, it is a guide. It points the way to the universe's secrets, its mysteries, its future. In its patterns, scientists find the clues to dark matter, dark energy, the fate of the cosmos. The oldest light is a map, a record, a gentle invitation to wonder. And so, as you lie here, let the cosmic microwave background remind you that the universe is old, but never finished. That every moment is a beginning, every photon a story, every edge a new horizon. The oldest light is still traveling, still singing, still calling you to dream. The next step in our journey is to meet the force that shapes the edge itself, a mysterious energy that pushes the universe outward, that drives the expansion, that decides how far the horizon will reach. It is the universe's greatest secret, the gentle hand that moves the edge ever farther. There is a force in the universe so subtle, so mysterious, that it cannot be seen or touched, yet it shapes the fate of everything. It is the silent hand that pushes galaxies apart, the gentle breath that stretches the fabric of space. The reason, the edge of the universe is always moving, always receding, always just beyond our reach. This is dark energy, the force that pushes the edge. For most of human history, the universe was thought to be steady, perhaps even eternal. The stars seemed fixed, the galaxies unmoving, the cosmos a grand but unchanging stage. But as astronomers peered deeper into the night, they discovered a different story. The universe was not only expanding, but doing so faster and faster, as if some invisible energy was urging it onward, accelerating its growth. This discovery was as shocking as it was beautiful. It meant that the universe was not slowing down, not coasting gently into the future, but racing outward, its edges stretching at an ever-increasing pace. The galaxies we see today are not just drifting away, they are being carried on a current that grows stronger with time. The farther they are, the faster they flee, their light stretched and faded by the relentless expansion. But what is dark energy? No one knows for sure. It is not like the energy of stars or the pull of gravity. It does not shine, does not gather, does not clump into clouds or planets or people. It is everywhere and nowhere, a property of space itself, a gentle pressure that fills the void. Some call it the cosmological constant, a term Einstein once introduced and then abandoned, only to have it return as the universe's greatest riddle. Dark energy makes up nearly 70% of the cosmos, yet it remains hidden, elusive, a ghost in the machinery of reality. We know it only by its effects, by the way it pushes galaxies apart, by the way it shapes the cosmic horizon, by the way it decides what we can and cannot see. It is the reason the edge of the observable universe is always moving, always receding, always just out of reach. Imagine for a moment the universe as a vast, expanding balloon. The galaxies are dots on its surface, carried outward as the balloon grows. Dark energy is the breath that fills the balloon, the force that makes it swell, the reason the surface stretches ever wider. The more space there is, the more dark energy there seems to be, and the faster the expansion becomes. It is a feedback loop, a cosmic dance, a mystery that deepens with every step. As you lie here, let your thoughts drift with the galaxies, carried outward by the gentle push of dark energy. Imagine the edge of the universe as a moving horizon, a place that is always just a little farther than you can see. The force that pushes the edge is not violent or sudden. It is patient, persistent, a slow, steady breath that shapes the fate of everything. Dark energy is not just a scientific puzzle, it is a philosophical one. It asks us to consider the nature of emptiness, the meaning of nothingness, the possibility that the void itself is alive with power. It reminds us that the universe is not just made of things, stars, planets, people, but of the spaces between, the silences, the gaps, the invisible threads that hold everything together. The future of the universe depends on dark energy. If it remains constant, the cosmos will expand forever, growing colder and emptier with each passing eon. The galaxies will drift beyond the horizon, their light lost to us, their stories untold. If dark energy grows stronger, the expansion will accelerate, tearing galaxies, stars, even atoms apart in a final cosmic rift, the so-called Big Rip. If it fades, the universe may slow, stop, and collapse, returning to the fire from which it was born. But for now, dark energy is a gentle guide, a force that shapes the edge, a promise that the universe is always growing, always changing, always inviting us to wonder what lies beyond. It is the reason the night sky is filled with mysteries, the reason the horizon is always moving, the reason the journey never truly ends. As you rest, let the mystery of dark energy fill you with questions, with hope, with the quiet joy of not knowing. The force that pushes the edge is not a barrier, but an invitation, a gentle call to curiosity, a soft reminder that the universe is always waiting, always inviting, always just a little farther than you can reach. The next step in our journey is to peer beyond the edge itself, to ask what lies past our vision, to imagine the unreachable beyond. For even as dark energy pushes the universe outward, it also draws a curtain, a soft veil that hides the farthest reaches from our sight. What lies beyond the edge? Is there more to the cosmos than we can ever know? The universe is waiting, and the next horizon is calling. There is a place in the universe where even the most patient light cannot reach us, where the stories of distant worlds are forever untold, where the horizon is not just far, but unreachable. This is the unreachable beyond, the realm that lies past our vision, past the edge of the observable universe, past the limits of what light and time can ever deliver. It is a place that exists not in our eyes, but in our imagination, a silent expanse that both humbles and inspires. Imagine standing at the shore of a vast, dark ocean. The waves lap quietly at your feet, and the horizon stretches away, a gentle curve where water meets sky. You know, with a certainty as deep as the sea, that there is more beyond that line, other shores, other lands, other stories. But you cannot see them. The distance is too great, the light too faint, the world too wide. The unreachable beyond is like that, a promise of more, a whisper of infinity, a gentle ache for what lies out of reach. The universe, as we know it, is bounded not by walls, but by time and speed. The observable universe is a bubble, a sphere of light centered on you, defined by how far light has traveled since the beginning of time. Everything inside this bubble is part of your story, your cosmic inheritance. But beyond the edge, there are places whose light has not yet arrived, and may never do so. The expansion of space is too swift, the gulf too wide, the rules of nature too strict. What lies in the unreachable beyond? Is it more of the same? Galaxies, stars, planets, perhaps even life? Or is it something stranger, a realm where the laws of physics bend, where the familiar dissolves into the unknown? The truth is, we do not know. The unreachable beyond is a canvas for our questions, a playground for our dreams, a gentle reminder that the universe is always larger than our understanding. Some scientists believe that the universe is infinite, that it stretches on forever, a sea of galaxies without end. If this is true, then the unreachable beyond is simply more universe, more stars, more worlds, more stories waiting to be told. Others suggest that the universe may be finite but unbounded, like the surface of a sphere, looping back on itself so that if you traveled far enough, you would return to where you began. In this view, the unreachable beyond is not a place but a path, a journey that circles back, a story that never ends. But there are other possibilities, stranger still. Some theories propose that the universe may be patchwork, a quilt of regions, with different laws, different histories, different fates. Beyond our horizon, the rules may change, the constants may shift, the very fabric of reality may be woven in new and unexpected ways. The unreachable beyond could be a realm of endless variety, a cosmic mosaic, a celebration of possibility. And then there is the most humbling thought of all, that the unreachable beyond is not just out there, but in here, within the limits of our own perception, our own imagination. The edge of the universe is also the edge of our understanding, the place where knowledge gives way to wonder, where certainty dissolves into curiosity. The unreachable beyond is a mirror, reflecting our deepest hopes and fears, our longing for connection, our hunger for meaning. As you lie here, let your thoughts drift to the unreachable beyond. Imagine the galaxies that shine in the darkness, their light forever lost to us, their stories forever untold. Imagine the worlds that circle distant suns, the lives that may unfold in the silence, the dreams that may rise and fall in the endless night. The unreachable beyond is not empty. It is full of possibility, full of questions, full of gentle invitations to wonder. The unreachable beyond is also a comfort. It means that the universe is never finished, never complete, never closed. There is always more to discover, more to imagine, more to love. The edge is not a barrier, but a promise. A gentle assurance that the journey never truly ends, that the story is always unfolding, that the next horizon is always waiting. And so, as you rest, let the unreachable beyond fill you with hope, with curiosity, with the quiet joy of not knowing. The universe is vast, but your place within it is precious. The edge is always moving, always inviting, always waiting for you to ask, what lies past our vision? And in that question, the journey continues. The next step in our adventure is to ask about the very shape of the universe itself. Is the cosmos infinite, or does it curve back on itself? Is the unreachable beyond a straight road, or a circle, or something stranger still? The universe is waiting, and the next horizon is calling. Close your eyes and imagine the universe as a vast, endless plain. You begin to walk, step after step, across this cosmic landscape. There are no fences, no walls, no boundaries. Just the soft, silent stretch of space beneath your feet. You walk for a year, a lifetime, 1,000 lifetimes, and still the plane continues, horizon after horizon, always just out of reach. This is the dream of infinity, a universe without end, a cosmos that goes on forever, a story with no final page. But now imagine something different. Imagine the universe as a great curved surface, like the skin of a balloon or the surface of a sphere. You begin to walk again, and though it feels flat beneath your feet, you are actually tracing a gentle arc. If you walk long enough, you find yourself back where you started, having circled the universe without ever finding an edge. This is the dream of the loop, a universe that is finite but unbounded, a cosmic circle with no beginning and no end. Which is it? Is the universe infinite, stretching on forever into the unreachable beyond? Or is it curved, looping back on itself in a grand cosmic embrace? The answer is written in the fabric of space and time, in the way light bends, in the way galaxies cluster, in the subtle patterns of the oldest light. Scientists have spent decades searching for clues to the universe's shape. They study the cosmic microwave background, looking for echoes and patterns that might reveal a curve. They measure the angles of distant triangles, the clustering of galaxies, the way light travels across the sky. The evidence so far suggests that the universe is very close to flat, neither obviously curved nor obviously infinite, but balanced on the edge, like a coin standing on its side. But what does flat mean in a universe so vast? It means that, on the largest scales, the Ichio rules of geometry hold true. Parallel lines never meet. The angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees. Light travels in straight lines, unless bent by gravity. A flat universe can be infinite, stretching on forever, or it can be finite but unbounded, looping back on itself, in ways that are hard to imagine. If the universe is infinite, then the unreachable beyond is simply more of the same, more galaxies, more stars, more stories waiting to be told. There is no edge, no boundary, no final horizon. The journey never ends, the story never closes, the adventure is always just beginning. But if the universe is a loop, then the unreachable beyond is not a place, but a path, a journey that circles back, a story that repeats, a dance that never stops. In a looping universe, you could travel in a straight line forever and eventually return to your starting point, having crossed the cosmos without ever finding an edge. The universe would be like the surface of the Earth, finite in area, but with no boundaries, no walls, no ends. There are other possibilities, stranger still. The universe could be shaped like a saddle, curving outward in every direction, or like a higher dimensional object, a shape beyond our ordinary experience. It could be a patchwork, a quilt of regions with different shapes, stitched together by the laws of physics. The true shape of the universe may be more beautiful, more complex, more mysterious than we can imagine. But whatever the shape, the universe is a place of wonder. Its geometry is not just a mathematical curiosity. It is the stage on which every Story unfolds, the canvas on which every star is painted, the path along which every photon travels. The shape of the universe determines its fate, whether it will expand forever, or slow and collapse, or loop endlessly in cycles of creation and destruction. As you lie here, let your thoughts drift across the cosmic landscape. Imagine walking across an infinite plain, never reaching an edge, always finding new horizons. Imagine circling a cosmic sphere, returning to your starting point, discovering that every journey is also a homecoming. Imagine shapes beyond shapes, dimensions beyond dimensions, possibilities beyond possibilities. The shape of the universe is not just a question for scientists, it is a question for dreamers, for poets, for anyone who has ever wondered what lies beyond the next horizon. It is a gentle reminder that the universe is always larger than our understanding, always more mysterious than our knowledge, always more beautiful than our imagination. And so, as you rest, let the question of infinity or loop fill you with wonder, with curiosity, with the quiet joy of not knowing. The universe is vast, but your place within it is precious. The edge is always moving, always inviting, always waiting for you to ask, what is the shape of everything? And in that question, the journey continues. The next step in our adventure is to ask if our universe is the only one. Could there be other universes, other edges, other stories unfolding beyond our own? The universe is waiting, and the next horizon is calling. Imagine for a moment that the universe you know, the stars, the galaxies, the cosmic horizon you have come to accept as the ultimate edge, is only one chapter in a much larger book. Imagine that beyond the soft, unreachable boundary of our own cosmos, there are other universes, each with its own story, its own rules, its own edges. This is the idea of the multiverse, a grand, dizzying possibility that our universe is not alone, but one of many, a single bubble in a vast, foaming sea. The multiverse is not a single theory, but a family of ideas, each more wondrous than the last. Some scientists imagine a cosmic landscape where universes bud off like droplets from a wave, each one expanding, evolving, and perhaps fading away. Others picture a branching tree where every choice, every quantum possibility splits reality into new worlds, each one as real as our own. There are visions of infinite space where universes are scattered like stars, each one forever out of reach, each one with its own horizon, its own edge. If the multiverse is real, then the edge of our universe is not the end, but a beginning, a doorway to other realities, other stories, other dreams. The unreachable beyond becomes a bridge, a gentle invitation to imagine what lies outside the boundaries of everything we know. But what would it mean to live in a multiverse? Would there be other versions of you, living other lives, making other choices? Would the laws of physics be the same, or would they shift and shimmer, creating worlds where light moves at a different speed, where gravity is stronger or weaker, where stars burn blue or never form at all? The possibilities are endless, the questions infinite, the wonder boundless. The multiverse is not just a scientific idea. It is a playground for the imagination. It is the ultimate what if, the grandest stage for curiosity. It asks us to consider that the universe is not a single, solitary thing, but part of a vast, interconnected web of realities, each one as mysterious and beautiful as our own. Some theories suggest that new universes are born from the collapse of stars, or from the quantum foam at the smallest scales. Others propose that universes bud off from black holes, or that every choice, every possibility creates a new branch, a new world. In some visions, the multiverse is infinite, with universes popping into existence like bubbles in boiling water, each one expanding, colliding, merging, or drifting apart. But if there are other universes, can we ever reach them? Can we ever see their edges, touch their shores, hear their stories? The answer for now is no. The multiverse, if it exists, is hidden beyond the ultimate horizon, forever out of reach. The light from other universes cannot cross the gulf, cannot slip through the fabric of space and time. Their stories are their own, their edges forever separate from ours. Yet, for all its distance, the multiverse is a comfort. It means that the universe is never finished, never complete, never closed. There is always more to discover, more to imagine, more to love. The edge is not a barrier, but a promise. A gentle assurance that the journey never truly ends, that the story is always unfolding, that the next horizon is always waiting. As you lie here, let your thoughts drift beyond the edge of our universe. Imagine the other worlds that might exist, the other stories that might be told, the other dreams that might be dreamed. The multiverse is not just a theory, it is a gentle invitation to wonder, to hope, to believe that the universe is always larger than our understanding. The multiverse also asks us to be humble. It reminds us that our universe, for all its beauty and grandeur, may be only one of many, a single note in a cosmic symphony, a single petal in an endless garden. It invites us to celebrate the uniqueness of our own story, even as we dream of others. And so, as you rest, let the idea of the multiverse fill you with wonder, with curiosity, with the quiet joy of not knowing. The universe is vast, but your place within it is precious. The edge is always moving, always inviting, always waiting for you to ask, are there edges beyond our own? And in that question, the journey continues. The next step in our adventure is to look not just outward, but forward, to the distant future, to the fate of the universe, to the edge of time itself. For every universe, every story, every journey must one day face the question, what happens at the end? Let your mind drift far, far forward, beyond tomorrow, beyond the next million years, beyond the rise and fall of stars, to a time so distant that even imagination grows quiet. This is the universe's distant future, the place where time itself seems to thin and fade, where the story of everything approaches its final silent chapters. What happens at the edge of time? What does the universe become when the clocks have all stopped, when the last light has flickered out, when the music of creation has played its final note? The journey to the end of time begins with the stars. For billions of years, they have burned in the darkness, forging elements, lighting galaxies, shaping worlds. But stars are not eternal. One by one, they will exhaust their fuel, swelling into red giants, collapsing into white dwarfs, neutron stars or black holes. The night sky, once ablaze with light, will slowly dim as the last stars fade, leaving behind only embers and shadows. In this far future, galaxies will drift apart, carried by the relentless expansion of space. The universe will grow colder, emptier, lonelier. The great clusters of galaxies will dissolve, their members lost to the darkness, their light stretched and faded by the ever-accelerating push of dark energy. The cosmic horizon will shrink, drawing a curtain across the sky, hiding more and more of the universe from view. The edge will come closer, the known world growing smaller, the unknown growing vast. But even in this darkness, there will be stories. Black holes will remain, silent and patient, slowly evaporating over unimaginable spans of time, releasing their energy in the faintest whispers of radiation. The last matter will fall into these cosmic wells. The last light will spiral into the void. The last warmth will fade into the background. The universe will become a place of silence, a sea of darkness, a memory of what once was. This is the so-called heat death of the universe, a time when all energy is spread thin, when all motion has ceased, when the cosmos is in perfect, unchanging equilibrium. There will be no more stars, no more galaxies, no more stories to tell. Time itself will lose its meaning, for nothing will change, nothing will move, nothing will happen. The universe will be a quiet, endless night. But is this truly the end? Or is it simply another edge, another horizon, another invitation to wonder? Some theories suggest that the universe may not end in silence, but in a final dramatic act. Big Rip, where dark energy grows so strong that it tears apart galaxies, stars, planets, even atoms themselves. Others imagine a big crunch, where the expansion reverses and the universe collapses back into a single fiery point, ready to begin again. And then there are the wildest dreams of all, that the end of one universe is the birth of another, that black holes are gateways to new realities, that the story of everything is a cycle, an endless dance of creation and destruction, beginnings and endings, edges and horizons. As you lie here, let your thoughts drift to the end of time. Imagine the last star flickering out, the last black hole evaporating, the last photon fading into the darkness. Imagine the universe as a quiet, empty room, filled with the memory of light, the echo of laughter, the promise of dreams. The end of time is not a place to fear, but a place to reflect. A gentle reminder that everything changes, that every story has its pauses, that every journey has its rest. But even in the silence, there is beauty. The universe's distant future is a canvas for hope, for imagination, for the quiet joy of not knowing. Perhaps in the darkness, new possibilities will arise, new forms of life, new ways of being, new stories waiting to be told. Perhaps the end of time is not the end at all, but the beginning of something we cannot yet imagine. The edge of time is also the edge of meaning. It asks us to consider what matters, what endures, what we leave behind. It invites us to cherish the present, to celebrate the light, to honor the stories that have brought us here. The universe is vast, but your place within it is precious. The end is always moving, always inviting, always waiting for you to ask, what comes after? And so, as you rest, let the end of time fill you with wonder, with gratitude, with the gentle peace of knowing that you are part of a story that is always unfolding. The universe is waiting, and the next horizon is calling. The next step in our adventure is to turn from the distant future to the present moment, to the edge as it lives in our minds, our myths, our dreams. For the edge of the universe is not only out there, in the stars, but also within us, in the stories we tell, the questions we ask, the wonder we feel. The edge of the universe is not only a place in the sky or a boundary in space, it is a frontier within us. It is the horizon of our imagination, the place where our knowledge ends and our dreams begin. For as long as there have been people to look up at the stars, there have been stories about what lies beyond. The edge is a mirror for our longing, a canvas for our wonder, a gentle invitation to ask, what if? Close your eyes and picture the first humans gazing upward, their fires flickering beneath a sky ablaze with stars. They did not know about galaxies or cosmic expansion, but they knew the feeling of standing at the edge of the known world. The night sky was a mystery, a map, a promise. It was the first edge, the first question, the first dream. In every culture, the edge of the world was a place of magic and danger. Some imagined the sky as a great dome, painted with stars, resting on the pillars of the earth. Others saw it as a river, carrying souls to distant lands. There were stories of gods who lived beyond the stars, of monsters who lurked at the edge, of heroes who dared to journey past the horizon and never returned. The edge was both a promise and a warning. There is more than you can see, more than you can know. As science grew, so did our sense of the horizon. The invention of the telescope revealed that the sky was not a dome, but a vast expanse filled with countless stars, each a sun in its own right. The Milky Way, once thought to be a river of milk spilled across the heavens, was revealed to be a galaxy, a swirling city of stars, billions strong. And beyond our galaxy, more galaxies, each one a universe of its own, scattered across the darkness like islands in a cosmic sea. But even as our vision expanded, the sense of horizon remained. No matter how far we see, there is always a limit. A place where the light grows faint, where the stars blur into mist, where the questions outnumber the answers. The night sky is a reminder that every discovery brings a new edge, a new boundary to explore. Imagination fills the gaps where knowledge fades. Myths and stories have placed gods, monsters, and mysteries at the edge of the world. Science fiction dreams of travelers who cross the boundary, explorers who find new realities, new laws, new forms of existence. The edge is a mirror, reflecting our deepest hopes and fears. It is a place where we confront the unknown, where we ask what it means to exist, to wonder, to reach beyond ourselves. The edge is also a place of creation. Every great leap in science, every new theory, every bold experiment begins with a question. What lies beyond? The edge is where curiosity is born, where the mind stretches, where the heart dares to hope. It is the birthplace of invention, of poetry, of art. The universe is vast, but the imagination is vaster still. As you lie here, let your thoughts drift to the edge within. Remember the stories you loved as a child, the questions that kept you awake at night, the dreams that carried you beyond the walls of your room. The edge is not a place to fear, but a place to celebrate. A gentle reminder that you are part of a story that is always unfolding, always growing, always reaching for the next horizon. The edge in human imagination is not a barrier, but a bridge. It connects us to each other, across time and space, across cultures and generations. It is the place where our stories begin and where they are, always unfolding. The night sky is patient. It waits for you to notice, to wonder, to ask. It does not rush. It does not demand. It simply is, a gentle invitation to explore, to imagine, to rest in the presence of something vast and beautiful. And so, as you rest, let the edge in your imagination fill you with wonder, with curiosity, with the quiet joy of not knowing. The universe is vast, but your place within it is precious. The edge is always moving, always inviting, always waiting for you to ask, what if? And in that question, the journey continues. The next step in our adventure is to look at how the edge has appeared in the stories and myths of humanity, and how it continues to inspire both awe and discovery. For the edge is not only a scientific concept, but a living part of our shared story, a place where myth and science, dream and reality meet. Since the dawn of language, the edge has haunted our stories. It is the place where the map ends, where the sea falls into the unknown, where the sky meets the earth and the stars begin. In ancient myths, the edge was a place of both terror and hope, a boundary between the world we know and the mysteries that lie beyond. In modern science, the edge is no less wondrous, no less daunting, but it is a horizon we approach with new tools, new questions, and a new kind of awe. Imagine the earliest storytellers gathered around a fire, their faces lit by flickering flames and the distant glow of stars. They spoke of the world's edge as a place of monsters and marvels. Some believed that if you sailed too far, you would tumble into the abyss, swallowed by dragons or lost in endless night. Others imagined the edge as a gateway to the divine, a place where gods and spirits dwelled, where heroes could journey to seek wisdom or redemption. The edge was not just a physical boundary, but a spiritual one. It marked the limits of safety, the border between order and chaos, the threshold between life and death. To cross the edge was to risk everything, but also to gain everything, to return with new knowledge, new power, new stories to tell. As civilizations grew, so did their horizons. The Greeks imagined the edge as Oceanus, a great river encircling the world. The Norse spoke of Yggdrasil, the world tree, whose roots and branches reached into realms beyond mortal sight. In Hindu cosmology, the universe was a lotus floating on the cosmic sea, its petals opening to reveal new worlds, new edges, new beginnings. But always, the edge was a place of transformation. It was where the hero met the unknown, where the ordinary became extraordinary, where the journey turned inward as well as outward. The edge was the crucible of change, the forge of myth, the birthplace of wonder. With the rise of science, the edge did not disappear. It simply changed shape. The invention of the telescope revealed new horizons, new mysteries, new questions. The edge of the world became the edge of the solar system, then the edge of the galaxy, then the edge of the observable universe. Each discovery pushed the boundary farther, but also made it more mysterious. Modern science approaches the edge with humility and curiosity. We know now that the universe is vast beyond imagining, that its edges are not walls but horizons, always receding, always inviting us to follow. The edge is not a place to conquer, but a place to explore, a gentle invitation to wonder, to ask, to dream. The language of science is different from the language of myth, but the longing is the same. Both seek to understand what lies beyond, to make sense of the unknown, to find meaning in the mystery. The edge is where myth and science meet, where the old stories find new life, where the questions of the past become the discoveries of the future. Consider the story of the cosmic horizon, the ultimate edge, where light itself cannot reach us, where the universe slips beyond our sight. In ancient times, this would have been the realm of gods and monsters, a place of fear and fascination. Today, it is a place of equations and telescopes, of redshift and dark energy, but it is no less magical, no less profound. Science has not banished the edge. It has made it more beautiful. The more we learn, the more we realize how much we do not know. The edge is not shrinking, but growing, expanding with every discovery, every question, every dream. The universe is not a closed book, but an endless story with new chapters always waiting to be written. As you lie here, let your thoughts drift between myth and science, between the old stories and the new. Remember that the edge is not just out there, in the stars, but also within you, in your curiosity, your courage, your longing to know. The edge is the place where you meet yourself, where you become the hero of your own journey, where you find the strength to ask, what lies beyond? The edge in ancient myths and modern science is a reminder that we are all explorers, all storytellers, all seekers of the unknown. The universe is vast, but your place within it is precious. The edge is always moving, always inviting, always waiting for you to take the next step. And so, as you rest, let the edge fill you with wonder, with gratitude, with the quiet joy of not knowing. The journey is never finished. The story is never complete. The horizon is always just ahead. The edge is not an ending, but a beginning. A gentle promise that there is always more to discover, more to imagine, more to love. The next step in our adventure is to look inward, to the edge within ourselves, the place where curiosity is born, where wonder takes root, where the universe becomes personal, intimate, alive. There is an edge that no telescope can see, no spacecraft can cross, no equation can fully describe. It is the edge within, the horizon of your own mind, the boundary between what you know and what you long to discover. This edge is not marked by stars or galaxies, but by questions, by wonder, by the quiet ache of curiosity that lives in every heart. From the moment you first looked up at the night sky, you have felt this edge. It is the feeling of standing at the border of the known world, of sensing that there is more beyond, of wanting to reach out, to understand, to belong to something greater. It is the gentle pull that draws you to stories, to science, to dreams. It is the reason you are here, listening, wondering, letting your thoughts drift to the farthest reaches of the universe. Curiosity is the engine of every journey, the spark that lights every fire, the question that begins every story. It is the force that has carried humanity from the caves to the stars, from myth to mathematics, from the edge of the village to the edge of the observable universe. Curiosity is not just a trait. It is a birthright, a gift, a gentle command to keep moving, keep asking, keep growing. But curiosity is also a kind of courage. To stand at the edge is to admit that you do not know, that you are not finished, that there is always more to learn. It is to embrace uncertainty, to welcome mystery, to find beauty in the questions themselves. The edge within is not a place of fear, but of hope, a promise that the world is always larger, always richer, always more surprising than you imagined. Wonder is the companion of curiosity, the feeling that rises when you glimpse the vastness of the universe, when you sense the depth of your own ignorance, when you realize that you are part of a story that began long before you and will continue long after. Wonder is the quiet joy of being alive, the gentle awe that fills you when you look at the stars, the soft humility that comes from knowing your place in the cosmos. The edge within is not a fixed line, but a moving horizon. As you learn, as you grow, as you discover, the edge recedes, revealing new questions, new mysteries, new dreams. Every answer is a doorway to more questions. Every discovery, a path to new horizons. The journey never ends. The story is never complete. The adventure is always just beginning. As you lie here, let your thoughts drift to the edge within. Remember the questions that have shaped your life, the mysteries that have haunted your dreams, the puzzles that have challenged your mind, the wonders that have filled your heart. The edge is not a place to conquer, but a place to cherish. A gentle reminder that you are alive, awake, aware. The edge within is also a place of connection. It is where you meet others who share your curiosity, your wonder, your longing to know. It is the place where stories are shared, where ideas are born, where communities are formed. The universe is vast, but the edge within brings us together, unites us in our search for meaning, our hunger for truth, our love of beauty. Curiosity and wonder are not just for scientists or poets or dreamers. They are for everyone. They are the birthright of every child, the inheritance of every generation, the gentle command of every star. The edge within is the place where you become yourself, where you find your voice, where you discover your purpose. And so, as you rest, let the edge within fill you with gratitude, with hope, with the quiet joy of not knowing. The universe is vast, but your place within it is precious. The edge is always moving, always inviting, always waiting for you to ask, what else is there? And in that question, the journey continues. The next step in our adventure is to dream of crossing the boundary, to imagine what it would be like to step beyond the edge, to explore the unknown, to become a traveler in the infinite. For the edge is not just a place to stand, but a place to leap, a gentle invitation to dream, to hope, to believe in the impossible. Close your eyes and imagine yourself standing at the very edge of the universe, where the last galaxies flicker like distant candles, and the darkness stretches on, silent and endless. The horizon before you is not a wall, but a gentle invitation, a shimmering veil between the known and the unknown, the possible and the impossible. In this quiet moment, you feel the ancient longing that has always lived in the human heart, the dream of crossing the boundary. For as long as we have gazed at the stars, we have wondered what lies beyond. The edge has always called to us, not as a warning, but as a promise. It is the place where stories begin, where heroes set out on their journeys, where the ordinary becomes extraordinary. To cross the boundary is to become a traveler in the infinite, a dreamer in the land of possibility. In myth and legend, the boundary is a place of transformation. It is the river that must be crossed, the mountain that must be climbed, the sea that must be sailed. It is the threshold between the world we know and the world we hope for. The hero who dares to cross the boundary returns changed, wiser, braver, more alive. The journey is never easy, but it is always worth it, for it is in crossing the edge that we discover who we truly are. Science, too, is a dream of crossing boundaries. Every new discovery is a step beyond the known, a leap into the unknown. The invention of the telescope was a crossing, a way to see farther than ever before. The first steps on the moon were a crossing, a way to touch another world. The search for life beyond Earth, the quest to understand dark matter and dark energy, the hope of one day traveling to other stars, all are dreams of crossing the boundary, of reaching for the next horizon. But the boundary is not just out there, in the stars. It is also within us, in the questions we ask, the fears we face, the hopes we hold close. To cross the boundary is to grow, to change, to become more than we were. It is to leave behind the comfort of certainty and step into the adventure of not knowing. It is to trust that the journey will lead us somewhere beautiful, even if we cannot see the destination. As you lie here, let yourself dream of crossing the boundary. Imagine stepping through the veil into a universe of endless possibility. What would you find? New worlds, new laws of nature, new forms of life, or something stranger still, a place where time flows differently, where space curves in unexpected ways, where the very fabric of reality is woven from dreams. The dream of crossing the boundary is not just a fantasy, it is a source of hope, a wellspring of creativity, a reason to keep moving forward. It is the force that drives explorers to sail uncharted seas, that inspires artists to paint new visions, that compels scientists to ask new questions. The boundary is not a limit, but a beginning, a place where the story opens, where the adventure begins. And yet, for all our dreams, the boundary remains. There are places we cannot go, mysteries we cannot solve, questions we cannot answer. The universe is vast and some edges may never be crossed, but this too is a gift. The boundary gives us something to strive for, something to wonder about, something to love. It is the gentle reminder that the journey is never finished, that there is always more to discover, more to imagine, more to become. The dream of crossing the boundary is also a dream of connection. It is the hope that we are not alone, that there are other travelers out there, other dreamers, other hearts beating in the darkness. It is the longing to reach out, to touch the unknown, to find our place in the infinite story of the cosmos. As you rest, let the dream of crossing the boundary fill you with wonder, with courage, with the quiet joy of not knowing. The universe is vast, but your place within it is precious. The edge is always moving, always inviting, always waiting for you to take the next step. And in that step, the journey continues. The next step in our adventure is to listen to the universe's message in silence, to hear the gentle wisdom that comes from the edge, to find peace in the quiet, and to let the poetry of infinity sing you to sleep. Infinity is a word that slips through the fingers, a concept that dances just beyond the reach of reason. It is the horizon that recedes as you approach, the number that grows larger with every count, the dream that never ends. To speak of infinity is to speak in poetry, for the mind cannot hold it, but the heart can feel its gentle pull. The universe, in its vastness, is a poem written in the language of infinity, a song of endless stars, unending questions, and the quiet hope that there is always more. Imagine standing at the edge of the sea, watching the waves roll in, one after another, never stopping, never repeating in quite the same way. Each wave is a moment, a possibility, a promise. The sea is infinity made visible, a reminder that the world is larger than any map, that the story is longer than any book, that the journey is richer than any destination. The stars above are like the waves below, countless, ceaseless, each one a note in the music of the cosmos. Infinity is not just a number, it is a feeling. It is the awe that fills you when you look up at the night sky, the wonder that rises when you contemplate the age of the universe, the humility that comes from knowing your place in a story that began long before you and will continue long after. Infinity is the gentle ache of curiosity, the soft joy of not knowing, the quiet peace of belonging to something greater than yourself. The poetry of infinity is written in the patterns of the stars, in the spiral arms of galaxies, in the endless dance of creation and destruction. It is the story of atoms forged in ancient suns, of light that travels for billions of years, of life that emerges, flourishes, and fades, only to begin again. Infinity is the cycle of seasons, the turning of worlds, the heartbeat of time. 2. Embrace infinity is to let go of the need for answers, to find beauty in the questions, to rest in the mystery. It is to accept that the universe is not a puzzle to be solved, but a poem to be lived, a song to be sung, a dance to be danced, a dream to be dreamed. Infinity is the invitation to wonder, to hope, to love without limit. As you lie here, let the poetry of infinity wash over you. Imagine the universe as a great unfolding story, with no final page, no last word, no ending. Every moment is a stanza, every breath a line, every heartbeat a rhyme. The edge is not a boundary, but a pause, a place to rest, to reflect, to listen for the next verse. Infinity is also a promise, It means that there is always more to discover, more to imagine, more to become. The universe is not finished. It is always growing, always changing, always inviting you to take the next step. The poetry of infinity is the gentle assurance that the journey never ends, that the story is always unfolding, that the horizon is always just ahead. The poets and dreamers have always known this. They have written of endless skies, of eternal love, of journeys that never end. They have found comfort in the thought that the universe is infinite, that there is always another star to wish upon, another world to explore, another dream to chase. The poetry of infinity is the song of the soul, the music of the heart, the gentle hum of the cosmos. Infinity is not a place to fear, but a place to celebrate. It is the source of all wonder, all hope, all joy. It is the reason you look up at the stars, the reason you ask what lies beyond, the reason you dream of edges and horizons. The poetry of infinity is the gentle reminder that you are part of something vast and beautiful, something that began before you and will continue after, something that is always becoming, always beginning, always new. And so, as you rest, let the poetry of infinity fill you with peace, with gratitude, with the quiet joy of not knowing. The universe is vast, but your place within it is precious. The edge is always moving, always inviting, always waiting for you to listen, to wonder, to dream. The final step in our adventure is to find rest at the edge, to let the universe sing you to sleep, to let the gentle lullaby of the cosmos carry you into dreams, to know that you are home, always, at the edge of infinity. Here, at the edge of the universe, the night grows soft and deep. The stars have told their stories. The galaxies have spun their ancient dances, and the light has traveled its long, patient journey. The edge is not an ending, but a gentle pause, a place to rest, to breathe, to dream. It is the quietest corner of the cosmos, where the questions grow still and the heart finds peace. Imagine yourself lying beneath the open sky, the world hushed. Around you, the air cool and calm. Above, the universe stretches on, a velvet tapestry stitched with stars. Each one is a lullaby, a note in the music of creation, a gentle promise that you are not alone. The edge is close tonight, not far away in the unreachable beyond, but here, within your own quiet wonder. Let the silence of the universe wrap around you like a blanket. Feel the slow turning of the earth, the soft pull of gravity, the steady rhythm of your breath. You are part of the cosmos, a child of stardust, a traveler on the road to infinity. The edge is not a place to fear, but a place to cherish. A gentle reminder that you belong to something vast and beautiful. As you rest, listen for the lullaby of the cosmos. It is the hum of atoms, the whisper of light, the soft sigh of galaxies drifting apart. It is the memory of the first dawn, the echo of the oldest light, the promise of new beginnings. The universe sings in silence, in darkness, in the spaces between stars. Its song is patient, timeless, full of hope. The edge is a place of dreams. It is where the mind drifts beyond the boundaries of the known, where the heart dares to hope, where the soul finds its wings. In dreams, you can cross any horizon, visit any world, ask any question. The edge becomes a playground, a canvas for your imagination, a place where anything is possible. Tonight, let your thoughts drift with the stars. Imagine the galaxies spinning in their slow, graceful waltz. Imagine the light traveling for billions of years, carrying stories from the farthest reaches of time. Imagine the universe as a great, gentle ocean, its waves lapping softly at the shore of your mind. The edge is not a line, but a feeling, a sense of wonder, a breath of peace, a whisper of infinity. The cosmic lullaby is not just for the stars, it is for you. It is the comfort of knowing that you are part of a story that began long before you and will continue long after. It is the joy of belonging to a universe that is always growing, always changing, always inviting you to dream. It is the peace of resting at the edge, of letting go of questions, of trusting that the journey is enough. As you drift towards sleep, let the universe hold you. Let the edge cradle your dreams. Let the stars guard your rest. Let the silence fill you with calm. The night is long, but you are safe. The cosmos is vast, but you are home. The edge is always near, always waiting, always ready to welcome you back. In this quiet moment, know that you are not alone. All over the world, people are listening to the same lullaby, dreaming the same dreams, asking the same questions. The edge connects us across time and space, across cultures and generations. It is the place where our stories begin and where they are always unfolding. The universe is a gentle teacher. It reminds you that every ending is a beginning, that every edge is a doorway, that every night is a promise of dawn. The cosmic lullaby is a song of hope, a melody of wonder, a hymn to the infinite. It is the music of the spheres, the poetry of the stars, the gentle hum of existence. So rest now, traveler. Let the edge of the universe be your pillow, the stars your blanket, the silence your song. Let the questions wait until morning. Let the dreams carry you beyond the horizon. Let the peace of the cosmos fill your heart. The journey is never finished. The story is never complete. The adventure is always just beginning. Sleep well, gentle soul. The universe is with you, whispering its secrets, singing its lullaby, inviting you to dream of edges and horizons, of journeys and homecomings, of infinity and love. Tonight, as you close your eyes, know that you are resting at the edge, not just of the universe, but of possibility, of wonder, of hope. The cosmic lullaby will carry you through the night, and when you wake, the edge will still be there, waiting for your next question, your next dream, your next gentle step into the unknown.